So I want you to have a understanding of how companies are getting started with this. And there's two real ways that we're seeing people start. The first way is you want them to get the art of the possible, and you want them to start thinking about ideas. Running group envisioning sessions within your organization, whether you run it, we run it, some combination of the both, has been a really productive way of generating ideas and especially widening the tent. I think one of the most important things is broadening the tent beyond IT. IT is not the place where these ideas come from as often as you might think. A lot of the times, the business is generating these ideas when the tent has been broadened to them, and they start thinking about ways that they can create value to their end customers or automate a process. So start thinking about how you can run broader envisioning sessions that engage large groups of people. This is an example of one that we ran at Generac Power Systems that engaged 100 professionals from across the company over a 4-hour session to help them understand the art of this possible, run 5 ideas from each group we had 10 groups, 5 ideas each group, talking about these different topics, bringing them back, doing sticker voting, really got this broad group engaged toward picking a pilot they want to go live with within the organization and getting the buy-in across the business groups that this isn't just an IT experiment, it's something that truly is going to bring value to Generac. So something for you to consider within the context of your organization is a great way to get started. If you already have some ideas to get started, the second way we see people start is by evaluating those scenarios. And there's 3 elements that make those scenarios ones that we believe are winners. The first is, do you have data? The availability of data is the most critical element to doing anything with OpenAI on this type of project. Like, do I have something that I can validate or train this against? Second is the scenario worth doing? You may have a lot of data, but the scenario may not have a payoff. And this is a scenario where you really have to think hard of, is this something that if I invest in it is going to deliver value for my organization? And there are so many scenarios that deliver value. So start with finding a scenario that has the data and has a return on investment, and you will get sponsorship from the business because they realize that there's value. Now, sometimes that sponsorship, you have to show them it's possible. And sometimes we have a project we're working on right now. We have to start with a POC simply to show them that it's possible to get past this idea that AI is science fiction and through to the idea that this is science fact. It's something you can do right now and you can get value from right now. So whether it's starting with an envisioning session or starting with evaluating a scenario and picking one, you then move into developing a pilot that has a goal of delivering value on a constrained set of capabilities to the business. And then ultimately moving into a production iteration that's built sort of brick by brick, capability by capability, raising up. But the big thing we've seen here, and this is where I'll sort of close, is these production iterations, we find that companies become capable at measuring the impact of the value of the solution and allowing them to even measure the impact of their own employees and allowing them to be able to help their employees to force multiply using these capabilities. A lot of times the things that we're deploying have never been measured before. And once you start measuring them, there's a saying, you measure, you can manage it. This is then tied to getting the value from the production implementation of a solution like this. So start with envisioning, start with picking a scenario, validating it's the right scenario, and then moving into pilot, and then ultimately into a production iteration. And the ultimate criteria is it must deliver new revenue or operational savings to the business. And if it does, you're delivering on what you said you were going to do.